broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Well, welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, technology news of the week. The show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. I'm Nathan Mumm, host and technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise. Our co-host Mike Day is in studio, of course, today, and he's the award-winning author and our human behavior expert. Joining our show today, we got Mark and Odie will be a part of our show because it's going to be a really great show. Now, we're live streaming this on 6 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Facebook, LinkedIn, and now Kick and Rumble. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio. We're friends from different backgrounds, but we bring the best technology show possible weekly for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. We're glad to have Odie, our producer, at the control panel today. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
Welcome to Tech Time Radio. Today on the show.
No.
Uh-oh.
No.
What's up?
Do it like this.
Okay.
Welcome to our special end of the year extravaganza, where we go over some of the stories that we talked about during this year and talk about where it's gone, where it's going, and what we're going to be thinking about it.
Wow.
How about that?
I like
you
that.
guys have changed roles.
Wow, I like that.
Mike is the hype man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, this is not an Earth standard show, but okay, I like that, Mike.
Yeah,
All right,
that's because of the drinking I've been doing.
Okay. All
before
right.
we started.
So here we go. We're actually going to go through the top 8 stories, and Mike and I will read them out. We got Mark and Odie here to give us some debate and questions and feedback. I will tell you what episode it's from, so you can go back and watch it in your entirety if you just want to hear what we're talking about even more. All right. Hopefully you're visiting techtimeradio.com and clicking on our daily blog updates. Lots of good information there. So let's start out with story number 8. Streaming industry consolidation. We talked about this on episode 278 with December 9th through the 15th of 2025. So kind of a recent one. By the end of 2025, streaming feels less like the future and more like cable with apps. We covered rumors and confirmation of mergers, bundled services, rising subscription fatigue. Consumers are paying more, juggling platforms, and questioning whether the choice is actually improved for their media consumption. Here's our question for the roundtable. We're starting it off here. Are we slowly rebuilding what was just cable TV?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but it's so much worse.
It's
okay. Why is it worse, Odie?
Okay. I thought about this. I don't even like football.
Okay.
But to watch every single game of the season, it's such a hassle. You have to have multiple subscriptions.
You do.
You can't just have cable.
Correct.
And I don't even want to think about watching the Major League Baseball either.
Yeah, you have
it's
to have
such a pain.
It is, and you have local TV. So I mean, so here's in the NFL. Since I'm a big NFL guy, you can get the Red Zone, which gets you about 80% of the games.
We're already upset about that.
Okay, well, I am because there's got commercials on there now.
on there.
I pay for a commercial. You have to have Amazon Prime so you can get the Thursday night games. You have to have a subscription to ESPN for Monday night's game because that's not a regular broadcast. And then Sunday night football at 5:00 is your NBC affiliate. So
this was, I think we talked about this on our future prediction show last year, didn't we?
We did.
And yeah, we talk about this all the time because it's like, hey, did you see such and such show on? And I'm like, no, because I don't have that service. You go, well, you have to get that service. I'm like, I'm not shelling out any more freaking money for that service.
And I agree with that.
Yeah, it's expensive too.
How long has it been like that? Has it always been like that? Where you have to, maybe not different streaming services, but you have to have different
Let me get out of my rocking chair here for a second and tell you how it used to be.
In the 80s and 90s, you just had cable.
In the long time
ago. So just one channel, you're good.
Hang on. Mike's
Wait
got
a
it.
minute. In the long time ago, television was absolutely free.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going that far back.
There were 4 channels and then they moved to 13 channels or 12 channels or some crap like that.
Yeah.
And all we had to do is sit through commercials.
Okay.
Right. So that was where they paid for their bills. And
That's
then,
why we all got VHSs.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then cable.
And then you had
cable
direct
showed up.
TV, or you got a sling box or one of these that you could then record it and fast forward through it.
Yeah. And then some smart ass came along and said, hey, we can get people to pay for this if we offer premium channels. And then cable was born.
Okay.
And we paid for cable.
Yeah. And those, and I had, my grandfather had like every channel on cable, and he paid a bill back in the 90s of $250 a month
Whoa.
Yeah.
to watch
Yeah.
TV. Yeah.
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 That's why we ended up cutting our cable many years ago, is for price.
Yes. Thank you.
And we
Comcast.
added the subscription services, which was a lot less expensive, and we got more.
Okay.
And my wife came to me recently and said, let's reevaluate this. We're paying more now with all those subscription services and watching less than what cable used to be.
Yeah. It's really funny because I've kind of done the same thing too. I have DirecTV as my main thing. I don't have cable, but DirecTV. And I am now looking, do I add other DirecTV stations back to my deal? But they, you know what they don't have? They don't have Netflix. They don't have Paramount Plus. They don't have any of these, that the new
All these
content that
special
I
shows.
enjoy watching. So yeah.
Well, yeah. And then, the internet came along and suddenly everything was free.
Yep.
Right?
Then it was free.
And then these guys got together and said, hey, we can jump into this whole streaming service. I think Netflix was probably the first one, because
They were?
Netflix was around before the internet.
Yes, correct. It was the equivalent to compete against Blockbuster.
Yeah. So Netflix came along to compete against Blockbuster, and they saw the train coming down the track and said, okay, let's jump on this. And now we got to this place where there's 50 bajillion of these stupid things.
Yeah.
They all want a subscription service.
There's
we talked
a
about
Howdy company. I was just looking at some new ones, like just Howdy with $2.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this has been the year of them raising rates multiple times in the years.
Yep.
Huge jumps in all the subscription services.
Are consumers going to tolerate these endless subscriptions? That's my next question.
No.
At some point, we will get tired of it, and we will do what Mark is talking about, and we will start backtracking on the ones where we use the less of, and they're going to be like, oh crap, what are we going to do?
It's already happening. I mean,
Yeah.
Hulu and Disney are becoming a thing, and people have been boycotting the Disney products since the whole Jimmy
Fallon
Kimmel,
or Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, that's
Jimmy
right.
Kimmel
Sorry.
thing. And then a lot of people are like, I don't even watch half the streaming services that I use. There's too many right now.
There's too many of them.
There's
I know
too many
people
of
that
them.
put these on their credit cards, so they're paying interest to watch these streaming services.
Really?
Yes,
That's a
it's-
bad idea.
So now all of a sudden you're not even paying the $19 a month. You're paying $26 a month.
Well, I will take a little caveat here.
Okay,
All mine go to my credit card.
but you pay your credit.
I pay
card off.
everything 100%.
but yeah, you're one of the
You're
smart,
responsible.
responsible guys that pay off your balance every month,
and then
right?
I get some money back.
Points. You get points back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
credit.
proper way.
That's the
And then
way
your
to do
credit
it.
score goes up. That's the proper way to use credit cards. Less than 1% of people do that.
Ooh, Nathan Nugget right there.
There you
Bam.
go.
Bam.
Bam.
That's exactly correct. All right. Story number 7. Mike, are you ready for this?
Almost.
Okay. What do we have here?
Smart devices and home privacy.
Okay.
One of our favorite things. Episode 237, which aired on January 21st and 27 in 2025. The recap was smart homes promised convenience, but 2025 highlighted the privacy cost. Always listening speakers, connected appliances, and cloud-dependent devices quietly collecting massive amounts of data. Many users didn't realize how much information left their homes and where it went.
Yeah.
So the question is,
Yeah.
are smart homes worth the privacy trade-off? Well, we can probably, answer that for Nathan.
I'd say yes. Because I have I have
'cause-
Alexa devices all over my house, and it turns on my television. It turns off my television. I
Wow, you can't push a button on a remote?
well, so I also use it.
You know what I do? I just push pause and just leave it on.
You just leave it on. There you go. But I also use it for my home audio system because all of the speakers are connected. So if you're playing like Christmas music right now throughout the whole house audio, I used to have a Sonos system. I replaced that with all these Alexa devices because it's free and it's about the same quality and it all syncs up for our whole house audio.
Okay. Besides all that, Nathan has multiple times come across the airways and said he doesn't care if his personal information is taken.
Correct. All right, so that's
he will
mine.
even
So now
he
they
will
at
even
least-
give a free TV if he gives away his information.
I would get a free
Hell
TV
yeah,
for,
so would I.
yeah, for $500.
Well, yeah, we already know that.
Now, are you also dating your appliances?
What do you mean dating my appliances?
That was a big thing.
That was
No,
a-
I
We talked
know.
about that this
I know.
year.
We
it
did
was
talk
the
about it.
refrigerator, wasn't it? Wasn't it a
Yeah.
refrigerator?
You have
Yeah.
a smart refrigerator that you're dating now?
I have not done that. I have not done that. All right, so Odie.
You should.
So, all right. So the question to you: do you like? Is it worth the trade-off?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, so there's
Why?
two.
Why is it worth the trade-off for
Because
you?
I've become accustomed to it. There is
Because-
I am with the belief there is no such thing as privacy anymore.
Good.
No matter as hard as I try, unless I want to be a hermit, there's no such thing as
There is a
privacy.
lot. There is
correct.
a lot of good things of being a hermit. I'll let you know.
Yeah, like being boring. So there's that.
Wow. Well, okay. So, Mark, how about you? I'm kind of curious. At your household, is it worth the trade-off?
Oh, I don't know how to answer that one.
Oh,
I'm kind of in the middle. We don't have smart appliances.
yeah.
Those have a lot of security issues with them.
Okay.
I do have one little Google Nest
Okay.
to control some lights and ask quick questions to.
Okay. Okay. Looks like he's gonna start converting. And Mr. Gorday.
I'm the least. I think the least one here.
I don't know.
I have technology in my home. I have an Alexa device. I have a Roomba, but I don't have any smart things where I'm turning off and turning stuff on.
Well, you still have
and
an Alexa.
I have an Alexa, but she can't do anything. She can access my Roomba and tell
Okay.
me my Roomba is
It's done cleaning?
ready to clean. Yeah, I asked her. I confuse her all the time. I asked her the other day and said, "Hey, can you turn off my lights for me?" And that really confused her.
She couldn't
She's
figure
like,
out what.
"No, I'm not connecting to anything. If you want connections, blah blah blah." Went
she's
into
trying
a
to-
sales pitch.
She probably tried selling you something.
Yeah. So for me, it's not a thing to really put my teeth into. I think I've just grown past that age where I want everything done for me.
Okay. All right.
So, but the follow-up question here is, do consumers truly understand what they're agreeing to? And you know what my opinion about that is?
No.
Nobody, they
nobody
don't.
nobody knows.
Nobody knows what they're
They
agreeing
just hit
to.
okay when there's a terms of service on a screen. People don't read it anymore. They just hit okay and then just move
because
on.
we have to do it all the time for everything. We have to agree to some legal mumbo jumbo that
It says we have no
weighted.
privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and secondarily, and we've talked about this before, is that there's so much information out there that somebody interested in my information probably not going to find it unless
Right.
they're really looking for it.
That's because there's somebody else using.
But if I say that to somebody who's had their identity stolen because of this crap, that's a completely different perspective.
Okay.
So, should we? Yeah, I don't know if giving away all of our privacy information is a good thing.
I've just kind of given up. I just give it away now because I put so much out there that if you want to know about me, go for it.
Well, again, we have all these other systems that are supposed to be secure that are getting hacked left and right anyway. So my medical information is out there because
Yep.
my medical institution
My charts
was
got hacked. Yep.
My what other
Everything's
cable
out
companies have been hacked.
Everything's-
All
Phone
these
companies
phone
have been-
companies have
See,
been hacked.
it's a
T-Mobile
losing
gets
battle.
hacked. T-Mobile gets hacked like every 3 months.
Well, it is a losing battle, and the older I get, the more hermit like I want to be.
Okay.
But then again, I still have my internet, and I still want my
Games.
video games and my shows. So
All right. Wait till your video games start tracking you. All right.
they're already tracking me. Right?
They've
You're right.
been tracking.
Story number 6. Humanoid robots. Hype or reality? This comes from episode 274, November 4th through the 10th, 2025. Humanoid robots dominated the headlines this year, but reality lagged behind demos. We saw robots struggling with balance, dexterity, and basic task issues. While marketing painting a future of robot assistance, the gap between hype and practically having it work is impossible to ignore. All right, here's my question. Are humanoid robots a design mistake?
You know, you tend to ask these questions that seem very simple on the surface, but they're hugely complicated.
Okay.
You do that all the time.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, and that's never good.
Okay. Mike can think about it. Mark, what do you think about that? Are humanoid robots a design mistake, or are you excited about humanoid robots? Wow, question. Okay. Odie, we'll go to you.
There is so much work to be done. I don't think we're going to be able to have like a functioning, helpful maid service robot for another like 5-10 years.
Like Rosie on the Jetsons.
So,
yeah, we're nowhere near that.
You know,
I actually think we're like 40 or 50 years away.
I would argue the same. I mean, look at Amazon Go. They can't even, the whole like camera thing is a facade. There's people somewhere else that are watching you.
Well, yeah, there was that. What was that one we did?
The emotional robot.
No, not
that was your favorite.
I
the
hated
therapist
that.
or
Yeah,
whatever?
that to me was.
How about the
really
robot in
the
Russia?
The one that they had that you had to buy a subscription service to have somebody run it for you.
Yeah, $20,000.
Yeah, $20,000.
I still think that's like the base bargain price of a robot.
I thought you were thinking of the Suzanne Summers.
That one too. Yeah, okay, so the nerdy kid in me loves this stuff, right?
Okay.
Right.
The nerdy kid in me is like, yeah, I totally want a C-3PO or a R2-D2 type thing running around my house doing stuff and telling me stuff.
Okay.
But the educated guy in me is like, these are bad ideas. They're just not. We're talking about a system of slavery, right?
Okay.
Because we are.
Wow.
That's what robot means. Didn't
We
you know?
had this conversation.
Yeah,
Okay.
robot means slave.
Okay.
So we're talking about a system of creating something that does our work for us, personal servants, and it's taking away our ability to do things on our own. Not to mention the AI thing. It's so easy for us to psychologically be connected to these things in ways which are not healthy, like the Suzanne Summers thing. I think that's very unhealthy.
Okay.
Yeah. So
A lot of conflicted emotions. I'd love it to do the menial tasks, like go to the store and do my shopping.
Okay.
Or stay online and argue with medical people about bills and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
However, people start abusing them and they become, like what Mike said, emotional support and having us not, it's going to go out and take our morning walks for us.
Hey, good.
That's not healthy.
Good.
yeah, that's why, I'm quoted on this little thing about the whole Wall-E thing. Wall-E is one of my favorite movies because it gives us a really good self-report on how human nature is, right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
So we have this big store mentality where everything is just given to us, and everybody's floating around in chairs. They don't exercise. They don't do anything.
All right. Okay.
So I'm not here to solve the problem, but I'm here to complain about it.
Okay. Okay. All right. You go to, I think you got the next story. What do you have here on the fifth most talked about?
We're going to talk about the next cool thing in technology, where we're talking about cloning your pets.
Okay.
And bioethics.
Okay.
That was from episode 276, which was November 18th and 24th of this year. So the story is that pet cloning has moved from science fiction into consumer reality. Companies are offering grieving owners genetic copies of beloved pets, raising ethical, emotional, and scientific questions about grief, identity, and expectations.
Okay. Yeah. And Tom Brady did this with his.
Tom Brady did this, yes.
Yeah, it was a big...
and the one piece that I still don't understand is how he's consulting.
You're still hung up on.
I'm still hung up on how he's consulting
for that company.
Is he like saying, no, I want the dog's tail to be more curled?
Well, he's struggling just with broadcasting, so I guess he needs to have some backups.
What's he doing? I want to know what they're paying him to do. Did he come in and talk about his football years?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so here's the question: does a clone replace emotional loss or deepen it? And should cloning be regulated? I think
it should be regulated. I think it should be regulated.
Yeah, definitely. But it is regulated. We do have regulations and laws around cloning. But I did see an article. I didn't read it, but saw an article about the first human child who has been genetically altered.
Okay. We had James Riddle talk about that.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you think, Odie? Should the cloning be regulated?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It should. It's that kind of thing where
So
it's
now
so
you're going to have
new, but nobody has any like rules or laws about it yet.
Okay.
And what is that like? Like social media or the internet where it's down, or the Waymo where it's always down the line when something goes wrong that then people start putting like regulations and rules and
this is the
guidelines.
story of human existence, right?
100%.
When we find areas that don't have regulation, we abuse the crap out of it and force everybody to start making regulations.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we do. Why?
Human nature.
Yeah, it's human nature.
Okay.
We are so dumb.
Wow. Wow.
We are.
Mark, what do you think?
We
Should
are.
cloning be regulated?
We just need to move to the next story. This is like a quick answer. Yes, it should be regulated. Cloning should only be used for certain scientific purposes. Nobody should clone a dog because they love their old dog.
I agree.
If you guys feel differently, put it in the comments.
I don't.
But
Yeah,
I don't get this.
From a psychological perspective, I don't think it's a good idea.
That makes sense.
Because you're not
You're not grieving the
you're
loss.
not grieving the loss
forward.
and moving on. You're basically
And it's got the same genetics, but it's not the same animal anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You'll never know what the personality is going to be like or anything.
No.
you're not, and you're going to train it differently now than when you did when you first got it. So
this scary
it's a whole
story
bunch of
scares me so much. I have to move on.
Okay. Story number 4. And then after this,
there's a Mark clone at home. Is that-
after story number 4, get ready, everybody. We have the 12 days of Christmas to take you out in the break. So here's our story number 4. As we get to 3, 2, and 1, they get a little longer with a little bit more talking. Cloud infrastructure failures. So we talked about this on episode 273, October 28th through November 3rd. Major cloud outages in 2025 showed how fragile the digital world really is. When a single provider went down, entire businesses, regions, and the internet fell and stopped. Many companies learned that they weren't as reliant as they believed they were. Now let's talk about this. AWS, Amazon Cloud Services, was the largest outage of the year, 15 plus hours of downtime. That happened on October 20th. Then we had Cloudflare, which is essentially a service that protects your online website from being attacked and having services. They had 2 global outages on November 18th and December 5th. Microsoft Azure, multiple major failures. I tell you, Gwen, every single week was submitting a Microsoft Azure failure for our pitch meeting for our pre-show, and it was just tough to cover every single outage. And then we had Google Cloud on June 12th that went out too. So we had every major cloud services go out. And these are all small companies that get hit because these large services go out. Should cloud providers face penalties for downtime? So they're providing a service. If they take my small business down on their platform, should there be any regulations or anything in place so that I, as a small business, can be credited or be held liable for mistakes? A lot of them say they're mistakes, and some of them probably weren't. Some of them are hacks. But should cloud services face penalties for downtime?
no.
Okay. Mike's-
No.
I love
why
this
would
idea.
Mike? Why would
You
Mike
like-
say
I
that?
love this idea.
Okay.
So in business, in the technology business, whenever I make a contract with most technology partners, we have this in our contract where they're guaranteed 99.9 or 99.99 or 0.9999, depending what we're paying for. And then if they don't deliver that service, there is repercussions of that.
Okay.
That's their guaranteed service.
And you know what? It's interesting because I do contracts too. And we ask for the same thing from a provider. And then all of a sudden they say, well, it's out of our control. And I'll come back to them. I said, well, you know what? You should have had multiple cloud services available then, because if one went down, you shouldn't be relying upon that. And then most of the time they don't want to redo our business the following year. So I do it with a different business, but there is no penalty for the large businesses to these other business providers. Odie?
Was Salesforce or
They got hacked.
they got,
got
hacked?
hacked.
Okay,
They
what
got
about
hacked.
AWS?
AWS was down.
Yeah,
So they were the 15 hours plus that was down.
yeah. I mean, I don't know about. I can't remember what else they did, but I know for sure that they had Canvas down, which is how students do their schoolwork and blah 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 blah. they have deadlines to be done. It disrupts the whole school day. Everything now is technology.
Okay.
There's no such thing as turning in your paper or turning in homework.
That's a bigger problem, right? It's a bigger problem.
There should be some form of penalty that happens. Like,
But
hey,
okay,
I think so too.
imagine
I
paying for
think so.
tuition
Oh,
and then
okay.
you can't even get
All
your
right.
school.
So Mike says no.
So we've been having a lot of weather problems around here lately.
We have.
We've been having flooding, and my electricity went off the other day. It was out for 8 hours.
Mine was 6.
And so yours was 6. Why aren't we getting credits from the electric company?
I called them up and asked them,
Yeah, you get
What-
credit
what
back,
did they
don't
say?
you?
and they said they'd give it to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Come on,
only if you complain about it.
Mr.
No, yeah,
Hermit,
yeah.
come on. You
Puget
gotta-
Sound
And
Energy.
then it's a loss of
Puget
your,
Sound Energy.
What do you call that?
I guess the
Seattle
phone
Lighting?
is technology, and Mike doesn't use technology.
Yeah, I contacted
No,
them.
I don't
get a
know.
whole
I
day's
just
credit.
I just have an old guy's thing where I was like, crap, and I went to bed.
Okay, well, there you go. So there are penalties for the and this is where I think, because the electric companies and the phone companies that provided landline phones used to have these penalties that were regulated by the FTC.
Now,
I think the same thing should happen for cloud services.
way a long time ago, I worked at a pager store. I don't know if anybody. I know. Do you know what a pager is?
I know what a
Odie?
pager
Is that before or
Oh my
after the
God.
car sales?
Okay.
This was before. This was way before. So paging had just come onto the market, in a big way. You know, we all know that when we were younger. Well, some of us knew when we were younger. There was always that guy that had a pager, and you knew what he did for a living. But you know, paging.
Was he a
became
drug
this big
dealer? Is
thing.
that what you're trying to say?
Or a doctor?
I didn't say anything.
I had one too, and I was
Right.
at Microsoft. But okay.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. But we ran a pager store, and when we lost service, we would be kind and credit our customer stuff. We didn't
Automatically?
Yeah, we weren't
Wow.
being forced to penalize,
Wow.
ourselves, but we would credit people for the loss of service.
Did
So-
your company go bankrupt?
It did go out of
I mean,
business. It did go out of business,
Okay.
but it wasn't because
crediting us.
we were crediting
Okay.
people for missing. It was design flaws in
All right.
the owner / tech wizard owner of the business.
Okay.
who never backed up his
I'm look-
systems.
That sounds like
that
a
was
great-
good, Mike.
was
But
good.
I am looking forward to our commercial break where we can drink some whiskey and listen to your.
So we are going to take a
song.
commercial break here. When we come on back, you guys are going to now listen to 2000's 12 Days of Christmas. And when we come back, we have our Mark is going to talk about what whiskey we're tasting.
Come to TechTime Radio, 12 Days of Christmas 2025. On the first day of Christmas, TechTime Radio gave to me. Nathan keeping you up on technology. On the second day of Christmas, TechTime Radio gave to me. Mike Gordon debating and Nathan keeping you up on technology. On the third day of Christmas, TechTime Radio gave to me. 3 tech takes, Mike Gordon debating and Nathan keeping you up on technology. On the fourth day of Christmas, TechTime Radio gave to me. 4 news stories, 3 tech takes, Mike Gordon debating and Nathan keeping you up on technology. On the 5th day of Christmas, TechTime Radio gave to me. 5 digits from Wem, 4 news stories, 3 tech takes, Mike Gordon debating and Nathan keeping you up on technology. On the 6th day of Christmas, TechTime Radio gave to me. 6 cyber tips from Nick Espino, subside purchase from Genoway. 4 news stories, 3 tech takes, Mike Gordon debating and Nathan keeping you up on technology. On the 7th day of Christmas, TechTime Radio gave to me. 7 whiskeys with Mark Gregoire, 6 cyber tips from Nick, 5 judges from Wem, 4 news stories, 3 tech takes, Mike Gordon debating and Nathan keeping you up on technology. On the 8th day of Christmas, TechTime Radio gave to me. 8 cues from Odie, 7 whiskeys with Mark Mark, 6 cyber tips from Nick, 5 gadgets from Wem, 4 news stories, 3 tech takes, Mike Gordy debating, and Nathan keeping you up on technology. On the 9th day of Christmas, TechTime Radio gave to me. 9 startups launching, 8 cues from Odie, 7 whiskeys with Mark, 6 cyber tips from Nick, 5 gadgets from Wem, 4 news stories, 3 tech takes, Mike Gordy debating, and Nathan keeping you up on technology. On the 10th day of Christmas, TechTime Radio gave to me. 10 guests explaining, 9 startups launching, 8 cues from Odie, 7 whiskeys with Mark, 6 cyber tips from Nick, 5 gadgets from Wem, 4 news stories, 3 tech takes, Mike Gordy debating, and Nathan keeping you up on technology. On the 11th day of Christmas, TechTime Radio gave to me. 11 trends unfolding, 10 guests explaining, 9 startups launching, 8 cues from Odie, 7 whiskeys with Mark, 6 cyber tips from Nick, 5 gadgets from Wem, 4 news stories, 3 tech takes, Mike Gordy debating, and Nathan keeping you up on technology. On the 12th day of Christmas, TechTime Radio gave to me. 12 bottles pouring, 11 trends unfolding, 10 guests explaining, 9 startups launching, 8 cues from Odie, 7 whiskeys with Mark, 6 cyber tips from Nick, 5 judges from Wem, 4 news stories, 3 tech takes, Mike Gordy debating, and Nathan keeping you up on technology. Have a happy holiday from all of us at TechTime Radio.
All right, welcome back. What's that?
Okay.
Time with Nathan Mumm.
Wow.
This show covers top technology subjects without
I
a
just want to
political agenda.
I just want to clarify something.
What was that? I paid for
That
a pretty
the
big
second day of Christmas, Mike Gordy debated.
debating.
Debating.
Okay, all
I
right.
love them each year. This may be the best.
Hey, that was pretty
It's the
good.
most catchy.
It's very catchy. I enjoyed the tune.
Yes.
are we tasting
today,
today?
for our Christmas episode?
All right, well, it's just
I've-
our end of the
End of the year, but
special.
it's just before Christmas. We're only
Correct.
2
You're
days
right.
away
Our
from
holiday
Christmas.
extravaganza.
Holiday
Our
extravaganza.
end of the year holiday extravaganza.
There you go. I brought something in that is holiday flavors.
This is different tasting.
Stellum Black Rye Whiskey. So from Stellum's website, Stellum Black Rye is an evolution of the Stellum Rye flavor profile. Think of it as Stellum Rye in high def. They use a meticulous blending approach to layer older reserve barrels into the original Stellum Rye blend. The result is surprisingly mellow cask strength rye whiskey, combining iconic rye spice with a deep complexity that reveals new facets with every sip. Buttery and rich on the palate with flavors of chocolate mint, star anise, and sesame that leaves a finish of fresh dill and cracked black peppercorns that are slow and warming.
Oh, okay.
Such a holiday drink.
Mark?
Yes.
Is this a relatively young blend? Meaning this
Is it under 5 years?
Well, let me tell you, it's Stellum Spirits, which is owned by Barrel Craft Spirits. It's undisclosed Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee distilleries that is blended of straight rye. It is non-age stated.
Okay.
My guess is it's probably 4 to 5 year old rye is blended. together.
Okay. All
Purely my guess. It is 114.26 proof. The mash bill is undisclosed. $95.
See, I asked that
Okay.
because I'm wondering if my palate is changing because I like this, but I can still taste the alcohol.
Yep. And it's how much?
95.
$95.
Oh, wow.
So is that my palate working?
Is that your palate working good? I'm kind of struggling with this.
Because we know Nathan's palate
And I
only
normally
works.
give thumbs up to everything, right? It does.
Yeah, Nathan's palate.
I see
Nathan
Mark.
didn't
I
have a
see Mark
palate.
glaring at me. He's like, probably this is like the best stuff in the world.
It's what
It's
Mike's
good.
getting a little bit. It is a little youthy. I would
Okay.
love to have
Youthy.
I would love to have a little bit more age on it, but even for that, and with what Rise are going for, I'll talk a little bit in the mumbles quickly. There's more background here that's going to be very interesting in the mumbles.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right.
Okay,
so
I like
my
that.
palate is definitely getting
So
better.
so far, Mike, you kind of like it. Thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up-ish.
Yeah, Nathan is kind of on the fence.
thumbs down leaning
It's
right
in the
now.
wrong
Well,
glass.
have a little bit more.
Okay.
Let it develop on you.
It's in
Okay.
the wrong glass for
But
Nathan.
you didn't choke on it.
I didn't choke on
No,
it.
he didn't do his cool facial
I am so
expression.
looking forward to the
What
mumbles.
is standard to have?
All right. Well, with our whiskey tasting completed, let's continue with our top 3 stories of the year. So we're going to go story 3 and 2, and then we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to come back with story number 1. So I got story number 3 here. We have episode 273 that we talked about surveillance tech normalization. We're going to talk about Ring, Flock, and City cameras. So this is episode 273, October 28th through November 3rd of 2025. Surveillance didn't expand with dramatic announcements in 2025. It expanded quietly. Nick talked about this on our show also regarding what's going on. Doorbell cameras, license plate readers, and citywide sensor systems become the norm now through partnerships with law enforcement. Ring cameras specifically is able to use video footage for law enforcement under the terms of service that it was upgraded and forced every user to approve of. That means anytime law enforcement wants to get into your Ring camera, they have back-end access to do that now. Now, well, solid as safety tools, these systems now are blurring the lines between public security and constant monitoring, often without public debate. The question I have here is mass surveillance now inevitable?
Yes, move on to the next one.
Yes.
Next question.
Yeah,
Next
Mark.
question. Okay. Should citizens be able to opt out?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Mike, yes.
I don't think it should. I don't
Yeah.
think you should be allowed. I don't think you should have something forced on you via your terms of service in order to have these.
This is what's missing in all our technology in the U.S. Europe has been really addressing it very well in some other countries, but we as citizens don't have a lot of rights when it comes to technology, and I think that's an issue.
I think that's because we don't pay attention. We just want what we want, and we get it, and we suffer the consequences, like the way we talked about earlier with all the hacking and breaches and
our government's not helping a lot because the big tech companies are usually in the U.S. and there's a lot of money being funneled to individual representatives to keep this out.
Okay, Odie, are you scared about citizens being watched all the time? Because you're a little younger of a demographic.
No,
You're not-
I have no choice.
Okay.
Truly, this is all I've known. This is all I'm ever gonna know. There's gonna have to
so
be some
you're just
radical
you just
thing.
quietly.
What else can I do? I mean, there'd have to be a huge uprising of a bunch of people.
Isn't it about
agreeing
time
to a
your
bunch of
generation
things.
uprises against this?
See, they're so used to it.
They would
that
have
it's
to give up their avocado toast.
Wow. All right. Where's the line between safety and overreach? Where do you think here?
That's the big question.
That's the big question.
That's the biggest question. That's what I've been trying to get to of these questions.
Okay.
I don't have a good answer. I love what this technology is, what it can provide, but the abuse that can happen is tremendous. It happened back during World War II with the Japanese internment.
Yep.
It's happening now with current government and just going into systems that have data and pulling it for other uses.
Okay.
It is, I'm sound like Mike. It is scary as hell.
Yeah. See, okay, so from forensic point of view, all right. So I read a story where somebody committed a crime and fled across the state,
Okay.
and they were able to track that person through various methods of traffic cameras and Ring cameras and stuff. They tracked them all across the state.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's this yay moment. They're like, okay, that's great because they were able to track this criminal who committed this crime.
Yep.
Then there's the holy crap, because if they can track him, they can track anybody.
That's right.
And then it comes down to who's morally able to determine what this is used for and who's going to abuse it to do this. Because if I hack into that system, if I can,
Yep.
I don't know if I can, but we've shown that happens.
You can.
quite
I'm
a
sure
bit.
they're pretty easy to get into.
Can I track people? Can I track people?
Yeah, and then you have third-party people watching this. And I mean, Chris Pratt's coming out with a new movie called Mercy, where essentially he's on trial. and they're going through video footage, and he has to like prove
I saw the
the
preview.
preview for that. I mean, that is
Yeah.
exactly where we're getting to, right?
You know, the problem that we have in our social structure here is that we have these cool movies that come out, but we label them as science fiction or fantasy, and so we have this entertainment value attached to them, but we don't really think about the actual ramifications of why that film exists. You know, all these movies that we talk about all the time, they're reflections of human behavior.
Yeah.
And they often carry warnings, right? 1984, written before the technology revolution hit us,
Yeah.
talked about a lot of the stuff that we're going through right now is where people are watching it, can watch us all the time. They track our information. There's things that we know about, we can figure out about people just by getting on the dark web. There's all the stuff going on, and we aren't paying attention.
That's right.
I'm going to say a word that was very common back in our youth.
Yeah.
I don't hear that much anymore.
What's that?
Checks and balances.
Checks and
Yeah.
balances.
Yeah.
And that is missing in our current society across the board.
All right. There you go. Story number 2, Mike. You ready for that one?
Yeah, are we done with this one? Are we done?
I mean,
Are we done?
we got story number 1 that we got to get to, and that's going to be, I'm sure, like we
okay.
could probably do 2 episodes just on our story number 1.
All right. Well, the next one is massive EV owner data exposure.
Okay.
All auto manufacturers track data and sell it. Should you buy a vehicle that comes with a user agreement? Is this fair? So
All
this
right.
story was on episode 235, January 7 through 13 of this year.
Okay.
One of the earliest warnings of 2025 came from a massive data exposure involving hundreds of thousands of electric vehicle owners. Driving habits, location, and personal data were exposed, not through a dramatic hack, but through poor data governance. Made clear that modern cars are no longer just vehicles; they're rolling data platforms. And we also talked about how it's affecting insurance premiums.
We did.
So, should vehicle data be protected like medical records?
Yes. Next question.
It should. So I guess they're going to get hacked because medical.
Mark just doesn't want to talk about it. He's just like, "Nah."
This is so cut and dry on this. So I'm not going to get into our life changes that my wife and I are going through, very positive things.
Okay.
And so she's like, hey, should we get rid of our car? And when we're done, we get another car. And I'm like, no.
Because now you have to sign a
she's-
user agreement.
I was like, she goes, but you love all the new stuff and the new cars. I go, I do. But, we've been talking on TechTime Radio, what's going on. And her car is it's a beautiful little car, but it has no electronics in it.
So that's nice. So they're not hearing what you do. They're not hearing your conversations.
That's
They're not
why I like
recording
my
anything.
motorcycle.
It has all kinds of issues, check engine light, but I'm not getting rid of that thing yet until this gets taken care of.
Yeah,
Okay.
the next car I buy is going to be a 1969 Camaro SS.
Actually, you want to buy a 2020
I don't want to buy
and before, because 2021 was when they came out with all the user agreements for every vehicle that you buy, that they can listen in and sell your stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, see, I don't think the information should be protected. I think they shouldn't be collecting it in the first place.
okay.
So, do automakers collect too much data by default? Yes, they do.
I'm with Mike. Yes. Move on to the next question.
Would
All right.
privacy transparency change buying decisions?
Nobody
Probably
knows.
not.
Nobody knows that they're buying. I just had somebody at work buy a brand new vehicle, and I'm like, okay, so you signed the user agreement. You're okay with them recording everything that you do and everything like that. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, when you went and bought your vehicle, didn't you have a user agreement? Oh yeah. I said, did you read it and look at what they did? No, he said I couldn't buy it unless I said yes on the user agreement.
But that's the
so they hooked him, and he
I'll
said,
have
I
to
just
pour
signed
more
it.
whiskey.
that's the problem. That's the problem, is that we have this extortion thing going on that says, oh, well, if you're not going to sign this agreement, you can't have this service.
Oh, okay.
And we've gotten, where Odie said earlier, we've gotten to this point in our progress, our technology progress, where we have to have this stuff.
Okay.
And when we have to have this stuff, then we get this oppressive situation where they're saying, well, if you have this stuff, then we get this.
My sister recently bought a car.
Okay.
And the first thing that I said after like all the excitement and whatnot as we were cruising, I was like, they're tracking you, right? And she immediately goes, what are you talking about? What is this? And I'm like, well, cars after a certain point, they're all tracking you. They're all keeping it. in their little database and blah 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 blah, and they could be used at any moment, and
That's
you'll
right.
never know.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what's so
Nobody knows that.
infuriating.
And she was
Exactly.
like, shut up, Odie. You don't know
Yeah,
what
she
you're
was
talking
like, what are they
about.
gonna know? I'm like, they're gonna know where you live. They're
Nathan.
gonna know how long it takes you to
Yep.
get to work.
Yep.
You need to take this and make this into a TikTok or go to the old show and start educating. This is one of those most underground abusive systems out there right now.
Okay. You know what? Maybe that's my goal for 2026 to really bring
It
this to
shouldn't
light.
even be something that happens. It should. It's
It
not
shouldn't
even
have
a
even
discussion.
started. We
Exactly.
shouldn't have to do a revolt of having
But
people do this.
but this is what I was talking about.
Consumer don't care.
Every time we have these situations where technology gives us something, there's always something that can be abused, and people will take advantage of it for whatever reason they want to, until and even after a law is made to do it. We all talk about this quite a bit about how the legal system is so far behind the technology
Yep.
age that we can't keep up.
Right.
And these questions keep coming up even into the Senate where they can't even ask an intelligent question about
Yeah.
the technology.
You should collect zero or pay me for it.
That's
All
right.
We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we have the Mark Mumble Whiskey Review and our top story discussion for 2025. See you after this.
Inbox lights up, warnings blink. Too much rush, too good to think. Headlines flash, pressure hits. That's the moment scammers pick. Step back once, look twice more. Truth is past the surface. Roar. Don't click the link, stop and think. Check the source before you blink. If it rushes, if it scares, that's the trap, be aware. Nathan Host digs deeper still. Breaks down tech beyond the thrill. That's the why behind the bait. So you don't learn the hard way late. Pressure means something's wrong. Real tech never pushes strong. Don't click the link, stop and think. Check the source before you blink. Urgent tone, flashing sign. That's how scams cross the line. Letters come in real world takes. Questions asked, real stakes. Stories shared from those who write. Helping others get it right. Mic cuts through the AI play. Fake replies sound real today. Voice is clean, email slick. That's exactly how they trick. When backed hardware look legit. Kickstarter promise turn to grit. Shiny specs don't mean it's real. Trusted are not part of the deal. Nick lock stores you never see. Scammers love invisibility. One bad click, a breach begins. Defense starts before you're in. Mark talks, whiskey taste comes first. Good things are never rushed. If it's harsh or feels untrue, it's not worth you. Odie keeps the show on rails. Timing tight so nothing fails. Cuts the noise, keeps signals clean so the message lands between. Don't break. Don't click. Don't click. Slump is beat. Don't click. Don't click. Stop and think. Too good fast. That's the sign. Pause it, check it. Then decline. Don't click the link. Slow it down. That's how threats get shut right down. Think it through. Trust your eye. That's how your data stays alive. Stop it. Tell them to make.
The segment we've been waiting all week for. Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
All right,
right.
Mark, what do we have?
Today,
got?
December 23rd. I know you gentlemen know what today is. You have been celebrating this for years.
Must be dress professional day.
Put on an ugly sweater day.
Oh,
I thought Mike was going to come right out with this.
I probably know. what this is.
It
Bah
became
humbug?
Bah
famous
humbug.
in 1997.
1997.
The
Come
world
on.
was made aware of this in an episode of Seinfeld.
Oh, is it Festus?
It's Festus.
It's Festus
today.
Day. Okay.
Festivus.
Festus for the rest of us.
That's right. It was from an episode titled The Strike. George Costanza is the one who celebrates Festivus with his catchphrase, as Nathan mentioned, a Festivus for the rest of us. The The holiday was created by his father, Frank, and they celebrated throughout George's childhood. Instead of a tree or menorah,
Wow.
what did they have?
What did
You
they
know,
have?
I don't remember.
An
that.
aluminum pole.
That's
was
right,
the symbol
aluminum
of
pole.
festivals.
That's right.
They'd have a dinner of
dance pole.
meatloaf as the main course, and afterwards they'd have feats of strength and airing of grievances traditions. In the latter, people could bring up what disappointed them about the previous year's gifts.
Yeah, it sounds like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, is this
Wow.
is this a end of year holiday kind of thing?
Yes.
Festus,
Okay.
yeah. That's
December
Seinfeld.
23rd
That's
today.
way before.
It's
Odie has no
actually
idea who.
Festivus.
No, anybody
Jerry
that didn't watch
Seinfeld.
You have to watch
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Whoa.
See, I vaguely remember this from watching Seinfeld, but it took Mark to bring it up and dig it out of the.
He's got these. He has all
Attic.
these special things. All
There
right,
we go.
Now,
tell us a little bit about
Stella
this.
Black Rye Whiskey, Stella means star in Latin, manages to do what a whole lineup of other ryes have never quite pulled off for me. It earns a spot well above the $55 introduction bottle it's built from, earns every single pour. This is a bottle I think about when I open my whiskey closet and ask what actually sounds good tonight. Now, I have a shout out to Tony, the late owner of North by Northeast Liquor on Williams Avenue in Oregon, who first put this bottle in my hands. I'm confident he is sipping something exceptional in heaven.
Okay.
And now, since we're celebrating Festivus, here is my grievance.
Okay, what is your grievance?
TechTime Radio, episode 133.
Oh, okay.
Almost 3 years to the day on December 27th, 2022.
Yeah.
We had this whiskey on.
Oh, did we?
These two jokers gave this whiskey a solid 2 thumbs down.
I was gonna give it so.
All Nathan
Wow.
did the whole episode was every time he took a sip, one. And Mike kept saying, I don't like rye.
I don't like
ryes. Now, some palates evolve. Some apparently stay lost. Let's see how Nathan and Mike have actually evolved.
I know.
Any guesses, Odie?
They have not.
What do you mean?
No, Mike
Well,
definitely on
Mine
ryes.
evolved.
Wait, for this whiskey specifically or evolved in general?
Mine is evolving in
Yeah,
general.
you have evolved, yes. Nathan, not so much.
Oh, look at our stream. We're all festive now.
Yeah.
Look at that.
But at least Nathan didn't moan and groan.
I
Right,
took
right.
her-
He
Yeah.
wasn't-
He's almost, he started off so on it, and he's almost a thumbs up.
Okay.
We've been
Well,
drinking.
Well,
see,
maybe
we'll
it
see.
is evolving, or he's already drunk.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
You're welcome. That's our throwback whiskey.
We're throwing back everything. Here we go. Let's go to our top story of the year. Story number 1. AI regulation and innovation. Episode 239, February 11th through the 17th. Episode 279, our December finale. We have talked about this and talked about that. These are the 2 episodes I pulled. I probably have an episode every month where we talked about AI innovation or AI regulation. Throughout 2025, governments have scrambled to regulate AI that have gone mainstream. Global summits, draft frameworks, public promises clash with fears of stifling innovation. The year end with more talk than rules and growing concerns that self-regulation isn't enough. The defining story of 2025 will be the collapse of identity trust. AI voice cloning becoming good enough to impersonate executive coworkers and loved ones. Now, my question for everybody, can AI be regulated without crushing innovation?
Well, you have to define innovation.
Well,
I mean, as far as what the boundaries are for that, because some of this stuff really isn't innovation. It's just abuse.
okay, all right. Odie, what do you think about that? Can AI be regulated without crushing innovation?
Not really, no. I mean,
Okay.
I don't even know how to explain what I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
but
I don't, because I disagree with you, so I'm listening. I'm curious on your explanation.
I don't really have an explanation, truly.
So I
Then
think
she's wrong.
I think AI. I kind of Odie. I'm kind of on your side. So I kind of, if you're gonna have AI be regulated, are you gonna have a government entity now deciding that is normally years
See-
and years behind technology innovators what goes on and what
See,
doesn't go on?
I'm thinking about it in the sense of like, I think it was Grok that let you do AI images of anything.
Did
And
Yeah,
they
what I'm
had like Mickey Mouse with like 3 different arms, right?
Yep.
But he was doing all kinds of different crap.
driving a jet into the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
So
How are
yeah.
we going to regulate that?
Okay, all right. So is it going to crush innovation? No, innovation is going to happen anyway because we push through all kinds of things. We are constantly trying to find our way around the rules,
Okay.
right? And because of where it is now, it's the Wild West again.
Okay.
Everybody's out there doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
The only way that innovation can be crushed through regulation is if we completely get rid of it altogether.
All right.
Yeah, if you overregulate, of course, anything can crush innovation. I'm just looking for safeguards.
That's what
put
my
in
That
big
is a
problem
form of
is.
regulation, though.
Right. So that's
yeah.
why I agree regulations need to be put in safeguards, but that should not stop innovation.
Should AI companies be licensed like utility companies?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Mike
Yeah.
says
You
yes.
you need to have regulations that say you have to meet certain standards before we allow you to do this.
I kind of
because-
say no.
Oh, well, you would, but we're talking about, things like when I think of this stuff, you know how much I love AI.
Okay.
And when we talk
What did you think
about
of our
it being
12
used-
Days of Christmas? That was
Well-
all AI generated.
Yeah, and that's a cool way of using it.
Okay.
But when you start using it for therapy or for companionship, that's where you're getting into really solid problem areas where it should be regulated.
Okay. All right. What do you think, Mark?
This is probably your deepest question
Okay.
of the day. I don't have an actual answer for this.
Okay. All right.
Do I want to be regulated like utilities? Probably yes. However, this is a worldwide phenomenon,
Okay.
and so it needs a larger response.
So my last question.
Yeah, I feel like the Ian Malcolm of AI. I'm always talking about how bad this is.
It is. Last question. Who is liable when AI advice causes harm?
Well, the company that developed it should be.
Really?
But they've been let off the hook.
But
legally.
yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
That we talk about it with the Waymo cars. We did how many stories where the AI was saying put gravel on your pizza or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Putting
Okay,
paste
so,
on stuff.
Yeah, here's the problem. Okay, if I go and I use ChatGPT to say what's a good recipe for pizza,
Yeah.
and it tells me to put gravel on pizza, and then I do, and then I break my teeth on it, that's a thing where I should take personal responsibility. I shouldn't go and sue the AI company for that, because that's just stupid.
Okay. So
Right.
you're gonna have a stupid meter that's gonna be here by
There
a
should be
regulator.
there should be a stupid.
So a
meter on
regulator
lot
is
of
gonna
these
create a
things.
stupid meter.
But-
It's like pornography in our law.
Yeah.
You know it when you see it.
You know it when you see it. But
Okay.
if I step into a Waymo
Yeah.
and I have been given all these directives that this is a safe way to travel and all this other stuff, and the Waymo just yanks me out into traffic and I get into a car wreck because nobody was expecting it to do that, then I should be able to sue Waymo for that, because they gave me a promise that they couldn't deliver on.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
Why are you like, meh?
Yeah, again, it all comes out of that regulation stuff, right? All right. Well, you know what? We need to end our day with our pick of the day whiskey tasting. So let's move on to this and see how our whiskey does.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
All right. What do we have here, Mark?
Salem Spirits from Barrel Craft. It's a blend of straight rye, non-age stated, 114.26 proof, $95. Mike, what do you think?
Well, I think, Mark, you have, completed your journey of corrupting my rye taste, because I like this. I have to
Wow.
say that
All right.
rye is on my list of things to drink.
I give this a thumbs up. Odie, take us out.
Wow, he doesn't want my review. Odie, we're gonna still be. Maybe I need another year palate. I'm still gonna give this a thumbs.
That
liked
is
it at
such a
the
lie.
end.
It's an okay.
It's in the wrong type of glass.
Oh,
He needs it to be in a beer glass.
Okay.
I'll give it a thumbs up. Very begrudgingly. I'll give it a thumbs
I love you, Nathan.
up. All right.
You
well,
know, Nathan had his birthday recently,
yeah.
and so I think you're maturing.
Oh, well, thank you.
No.
I don't think
Just
that's
like
the
a
case.
whiskey.
Getting
Happy birthday.
getting older does not
Cha-ching.
mean maturing.
All right.
That's true, Mike. That is 100% true.
Well, we're about out of time. We want to thank our listeners for joining the program. This was not our normal program, but if you like it, give us some comments. So, there's a different type of atmosphere.
Yes, this was our end of the year extravaganza.
It was our end of the year.
Thumbs up.
That's right. My thumbs up. You remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. You have a nice song to listen to on your way out. And we wish you guys a very Merry holiday.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/TechTimeRadio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a